Okay. Fine. Now, can you see my screen? Okay. So, for the ordinal categorical variable, if our categorical variable, dependent variable is ordinal, for example, severity of anemia. Okay, no anemia, mild anemia, moderate anemia, severe anemia. In such a situation, we shall use the ordinal regression. There is another regression, we call it Cox regression. Cox regression is used to analyze the data where time is concerned. For example, survival time. Okay, sometimes we analyze our data to understand what would be the 5-year or 3-year survival probability of a disease after being treated or not being treated. For example, clinical trial on cancer patients. Okay, in such a situation, we use Cox regression. In Cox regression, actually, our outcome variable is time to event, time to outcome. It is also sometimes called event, time to event. Okay. Then there are other regression methods, Poisson regression, but those are very infrequently used depending on the situation and type of the dependent variable, such as when the dependent variable is count. For example, number of patients admitted in emergency. Okay, so it is the count. Then we use Poisson regression. Incidence rate. If we are interested to calculate the incidence rates, then we use the Poisson regression. However, most commonly used analytical method is the multivariable analytic method is the binary logistic regression. Have you heard about this? Logistic regression. Have you heard about it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So today we shall see how to use logistic regression to analyze our data. Okay, I said that we use logistic regression. It is also called binary because commonly when the variable is a binary categorical variable. Binary means it has two levels, yes, no, okay? It is also called dichotomous categorical variable. So when our dependent variable is a dichotomous categorical variable, that is, it's a categorical variable with two levels. For example, we have a variable diabetes. So it has two categories, diabetes present, absent, like this, okay? Then another example is outcome of patient. So patient died, patient survived, like this, okay? Remember that if we want to analyze, if we want to use logistic regression, our dependent variable has to be coded as 0 equal to no. Okay, for example, if I say disease, present, absent. So 0 should be absent, yes should be present. Okay, so absent should be coded as 0, disease present should be coded as 1. If it is died and survived, then died should be coded as 1 because that is what we are interested to know, what is the risk of dying, okay? That's why we have to code If the patient died, coded as 1. If the patient did not die, survived, then it should be coded as 0. In SPSS, if the variable is coded like this, 0, 1, then 0 category, whatever is the category for 0, 0 category would be the comparison group, while SPSS will give the predicted outcome for the upper value. That is, it will give us the estimation of risk for the upper value. We shall see, we shall again discuss, okay? Acha. In logistic regression, we can include both categorical and quantitative variables as independent variables. Sorry, it would be not depend. It would be independent variable. Okay. Why it does not work as independent? Okay. So can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we can include both categorical and quantitative variables as independent variables during logistic regression analysis. Okay. Commonly, logistic regression analysis can be unconditional logistic regression analysis. Another is called conditional regression, conditional logistic regression. Unconditional logistic regression is done in unmatched study designs where cases and controls are not matched. But conditional logistic regression is done in matched study design, such as matched case control studies. Commonly, we are doing unmatched case control studies. Therefore, unconditional logistic regressions are commonly used. However, if your study design is a matched case control design, then we should use the conditional logistic regression. Clear? Clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is this. Okay. Forget about this one. I have already discussed. Okay. The question is, why do we need to do the logistic regression? The primary purpose of doing logistic regression is to get the adjusted value of the odds ratio. Okay, is to get the adjusted value of the odds ratio. That is the main objective. In logistic regression, we can also understand which variable contributed the most in explaining the outcome variable. Okay. Or in other words, we can identify which independent variable is most important in explaining the relationship between the independent variables and the dependent variables. Okay. In other words, that I have written to determine the relative contribution. That means which variable contributes most. Okay. So to this, and third is we can, like multiple regression, we can also calculate the predictive probability of the outcome variable. We can calculate what would be the, if the person's characteristics are blah, 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 then what would be the probability that the person would have the disease? And lastly, another important purposes of doing logistic regression is to understand interaction. If there is any interaction between independent variables for the outcome variables. So this is a little bit complicated to understand, so I will skip this one. Okay. Okay, forget about these things. Now, please open SPSS and use data 4. Okay, use data 4. Today we shall use the data 4. Okay. So let me open. So please open data 4. Have you opened it? Have you opened it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, data 4. Suppose we shall do a logistic regression. Our dependent variable is diabetes mellitus. Okay, let me write. Our dependent variable is diabetes mellitus. Let me insert a page. Say our dependent variable is diabetes mellitus. Okay, as I said earlier that for this we need to code this variable 0 equal to no diabetes, 1 equal to have diabetes. Okay, we have to code it like this. If it is not coded like this, we shall check it. Then the independent variables that we shall use is age, sex, then say family history of diabetes mellitus, then say peptic ulcer. Okay, we shall use these 4 variables as dependent variable. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Am I
Yes.
clear? Okay.
Yes,
So one thing, while doing the multiple linear regression, hope you remember if the independent categorical variable has more than 2 categories, we had to use dummy variables. We use dummy variables. Do you remember this? For example, we included religion in multiple linear regression analysis, and there we developed dummy variables for religion. Remember, do you remember this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But in logistic regression, even though a variable has more than 2 categories, we don't need to develop dummy variables. Okay, clear? We don't need to develop any dummy variables. For example, okay, let us also include religion. So it has, in this data, we shall check how many categories are there. Even if it has more than 2 categories, but we don't need to develop any dummy variables. Okay, am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if we look at the independent variables, age is quantitative, right? Age is quantitative variable. Quantitative, others are categorical variable, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we have to decide one thing. We have to decide which category would be the comparison group for the categorical variables. This is we shall have to decide, okay? For example, sex. So which one do we like to be the comparison group? We have two categories, male and female. Which one do you like to be the categorical comparison group? Either male or female. Which one you like?
Male.
Male. So male is comparison group, okay? Comparison group. Then for family history, which one? Family history of diabetes. Which one? It has two levels. Have family history, do not have family history. Which one do you want be the comparison group?
Have family history.
Huh?
Have family history.
Have family history, you want comparison group? Huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But logically, it should not be. Logically, comparison group should be those who do not have the family history. Okay, for peptic ulcer, which one do you want to be the comparison group? Here it is yes, no. Which one do you want? Which category do you want?
No.
No peptic ulcer, okay. So category no is comparison group. And religion, say there are three religions here, Muslim, Hindu, and others, or Christian, whatever. Which one do you want as the comparison group? Which
Muslim.
one? Muslim, okay. So Muslim will be the comparison group. So can you please note down this information? Because we need to remember it, okay? Can anybody note down this? I can remember, no problem. Okay, so before doing the logistic regression, we have to decide which would be the comparison group for the categorical variable. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. For age, since it is a quantitative variable, we don't need to decide it like this because it's a continuous variable. Okay. Fine. Now let us see how to do the analysis. Okay. So let us first check. So our dependent variable is diabetes, and it is already coded as 0 means no, 1 is yes. Okay. So this is how we want this variable to be coded. Okay. Say if it is not coded like this, suppose if the code was 1 is yes, 2 is no, then we need to recode it. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it is all right. Now let us say sex, because string variable cannot be used. We have sex underscore 1, which is a numeric variable, and it is coded as 0 is female, 1 is male, right? And we have decided male would be the comparison group. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So male is coded as the last, right?
Yes, sir.
And female is coded as the first because 0, 1. So 1 is coming last. Clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, please.
Okay, fine. Now let us see the religion. So there are 3 categories: Muslim, Hindu, Christian. And we have decided Muslim would be the comparison group. That is, the first category would be the comparison group. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Then we have family history. We can see that family history is coded as 0 equal to no family history. 1 is have family history. You have decided that our comparison group would be those who have the family history, right? That is the last category. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then peptic ulcer. Peptic ulcer, the variable name is peptic ulcer. It is also coded as 0, no peptic ulcer. 1 is have peptic ulcer. You have decided that no peptic ulcer would be the comparison group. That means it is the first category. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now go to analyze. Then come to regression. Then you will see binary logistic regression. Now come here. Analyze, regression, binary logistic. Then click on binary logistic. Done. Done.
Yes, sir.
Okay, everybody. So I am also clicking on binary logistic regression. Now you can see that dependent box. We said that our dependent variable is the diabetes mellitus. So select diabetes and push it into the dependent box. Okay. So select diabetes for the dependent box. Done.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Select age. Push it into the covariates box. So age covariate box. Okay. Then select sex, the variables that we have decided. Sex into covariate box. Religion covariate box. Then family history covariate box. Then peptic ulcer covariate box. So these are the variables that we have decided to use: age, sex, religion, family history, peptic ulcer. All these variables, select all these variables and include them in the covariates box. Done.
Yes, sir.
Okay, everybody.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then click on categorical tab here. Click on categorical tab. Here, categorical. Okay, click on it. Done.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we can see this. On the left-hand side, we can see all the independent variables in this box. Okay, covariates box. Now we know age is the quantitative variable, okay? And others are categorical variables. So you can see categorical covariates. So we shall select all the categorical variables and push them into this box. So select sex, push it into categorical variables box. Similarly, select religion, push it, select family history, push it, select peptic ulcer, push it. Done?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, click on 6. Click on 6. Have you done it?
Yes, sir.
Just click on 6. Okay. Now, at the bottom, under contrast, you can see contrast and reference category. Reference category means comparison group. Okay. Reference category means comparison group. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
So it is showing reference category is last. That means we have decided to select male as our categorical, as our comparison group. And comparison group, male is the last category, correct? So we don't need to do anything. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then click on religion. Click on religion. Okay. So for religion, we have decided to select Muslims as the comparison group. And Muslims is the first category, right?
Yes, sir.
So change it here. Now it was last. Now click on first. Okay. Reference category. Now select first. Okay. Done.
Yes, sir.
Now click on change because computer has to change it. Click on change. 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 So you can see that the first is written at the end of the variable in the bracket. Okay. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now click on family history. For family history, you said that those who have the family history would be the comparison group. So those who have family history is coded as 1 and it is the last variable. So now select last. Okay, it was first, select last. Actually, by default, it is last. You don't need to do anything. Okay, computer decides that for all the categorical variables, last category is the comparison group. So if it is last category, we don't need to do anything. But if it is the first category, then we need to change it like that we have used for religion. Okay. Then for peptic ulcer, we said that who do not have peptic ulcer would be the comparison group. And the code was 0. That is, it is the first category. Okay. So select first, then click on change. For peptic ulcer, select first, then click on change. Okay. Done.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Then continue. Then continue. Continue. Click on continue. So have you got the point here that you see that's why I said that first of all, we shall have to decide which would be the comparison. Then based on that, yes.
If there is 3 category, 1,
okay.
2, 3.
মাঝখানেরটা হইলে কি করব তাই না?
Yes, sir. Like Hindus.
Okay. Yeah, so we shall have to recode it. If we want to, if we decide that middle category would be the comparison group, then recode the middle category, either the smallest value or the largest value. Otherwise, there is no other option.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, fine. So continue. Continue.
Sir.
Yes.
স্যার যে রিলিজিয়নের যে স্যার আমরা লেভেল করছি ওখানে স্যার 1 to 3 দেওয়া, এখন স্যার ওটাতে কোনো প্রবলেম
কোনটা
হবে, জিরো করতে
কোনটা
হবে?
কোনটা
রিলিজিয়ন।
না, ওটা বলেছি যে in logistic regression, if the categorical variable has more than 2 levels, we don't need to develop any dummy variable, which is not a problem. ওটা কোনো সমস্যা না। ওকে, কিছু করতে হবে না। শুধু only we shall have to decide which would be the comparison group. That's all. Okay?
ওকে
Fine.
স্যার।
Fine. Now click on options. Now click on options. Options. Okay? Click on options. Click options. Options. So I have clicked options. Okay? Commonly, just select correlation estimates and CI for EXPB. Okay. Select correlations and CI for exponential beta. We call it exponential beta. Okay. Normally, if we select only these two things, then it is all right. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then continue. Then okay. Then okay. Continue, then okay. Fine. You can see SPSS. You see it has given so many tables. Huh? Fine. Now let us see what does the tables indicate. Okay. The first table, case processing summary. It shows the total number of subjects that were analyzed in this analysis. We can see that 210 subjects were included in the analysis. If there are any missing cases, then the computer will show it here. Okay. Clear?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Now this second table, dependent variable encoding. Okay. It indicates code numbers of the dependent variable that we have included in the analysis. So you can see that no is 0, yes is 1. That means our dependent variable is diabetes, and it was coded as 0, do not have diabetes, yes, have diabetes. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Which we desire. This is for the cross check that we did not do any mistake. Okay. Then this table indicates which category of the categorical variable is the comparison group. So this table indicates which category of our categorical variables is the comparison group. Just look at 1 and 2 column. If both these columns are 0, then it indicates that it is the comparison group. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So 1 and 2 column, okay. Parameter coding, 1 and 2 column. If both these columns are 0, it indicates that that category is the comparison group. So for religion, which one is the comparison group?
Muslim.
Muslim. For peptic ulcer, which one is the comparison group?
Yes. No, sorry, no.
No, because no is 0. No is 0, right? Okay. Family history of diabetes, which one?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, because yes is 0. And Sex, which one is the comparison group?
Male.
Male, because male is 0. Okay. So even if you forget, you can understand from this table which one was the comparison group in this analysis. Okay, so these are the general information. Then SPSS gives the analysis outputs under block 0 and block 1. Okay, under block 0 and block 1. It's not very important to look at block 0, but still let me explain it. Okay, block 0 indicates the logistic regression analysis without any independent variables, okay? Without including any of the independent variables, including age. Okay, so you can see that variables not in the equation. You can see all the independent variables are written here, okay? But why the table has given it? So we are interested to look at this value, classification table, 78.6. Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
So we can see that 78.6 is the overall percentage. It is actually overall. This is percentage, okay? This is the overall percentage. So we shall compare this value with the value under block 1. Okay, we have a similar table, but under block 1. So it is 78.6%. This is the overall percentage of the dependent variables to diagnose the, actually here it is the non-cases. However, forget about this one. What we shall do is that we shall compare this value with the value given under block 1. So it is 78.6, right? Now let us say under block 1, you see classification table. How much it is?
91.
91. So it has been increased, right?
Yes, sir.
So the thing is that this indicates that if there is an increase in the overall classification percentage, if it increases, this means that we can use this logistic regression, or in other words, we can say that the independent variables, inclusion of the independent variables improves the prediction of the outcome variable, okay, compared to without any independent variables. Am I clear? Means that the independent variables that we have included in this analysis can give better prediction, okay, compared to those if we do not include any variable, okay? In simple way, we can conclude that regression, I mean the logistic regression is useful. If this value remains same, then we conclude that actually logistic regression in that case is not useful to predict the dependent variable. Am I clear? Am I clear? Difficult, huh? Let me tell it again. I said that we do regression for prediction, okay? Now the question is, for the prediction, we have selected some variables so that we can better predict the outcome variable. now the question is whether the variables that we have included in the analysis is able to provide better prediction of the outcome or not. That's why we have done this logistic regression. So if this value increases, it indicates that the independent variables have the ability to give better prediction about the outcome variable. Or in simple way, just remember that just in a simple way, the logistic regression is useful for prediction. If there is no change in this value, then logistic regression is useless. It is not necessary. Am I clear?
Yes, so that means this is not required in this case.
Exactly. If the value remains same, that means the independent variable does not have any influence on the outcome variable. So logistic regression is useless. It is not necessary. Okay. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
okay, fine. Now, so I am under block 1. Okay, fine. So we don't need to see anything under block 1 except this one. Okay, even then, I will tell you, even we may not need this. Okay, so we do not need anything else. There is another indication whether the logistic regression is useful or not. It is the omnibus test. Okay, it is the omnibus test. We shall have to look at the p-value in the model row. We can see that the p-value is 0.000. Okay, am I clear?
Yes, sir.
So if the p-value, it is significant, right? Because it is less than 0.05. Okay? It is significant, correct?
Yes, sir.
So if this p-value is not significant, if it is greater than 0.05, it also indicates that logistic regression is meaningless. Okay, it is not useful. Okay, that means the independent variables cannot predict the outcome variable. That means the logistic regression is not actually useful. Clear?
Sir, which one we will interpret?
Model.
Which level we say?
Model 1. Model.
Not this one.
P-value of the model.
Yes, sir.
Okay, others no, not others, only the model. Okay. Clear?
Yes, please.
Okay, fine. So this table gives us the, we call it pseudo R-square. Pseudo R-square. Nagelkart's R-square, another is Cox and Snell R-square. Commonly, we do not use these values. But the interpretation of these values are like the R-square value. The regression, the what is called R-square coefficient of determination, right? The interpretation is similar to R-square that we have seen in linear regression analysis, okay? But in logistic regression, commonly we do not use it. That's why it is called pseudo R-square, okay? So if we use it, the interpretation is that, say 0.387, it is 598. It indicates that the independent variables in the model explains 38.7% to 59.8% variation of the dependent variable. That means our independent variables explains about 38 to 59% variations in the dependent variable. But once again, as I said, these values are not commonly used in logistic regression analysis. If you look at the publications, you will see most of the authors are not reporting these values. Okay, am I clear? Any confusion? Any confusion, any question here?
So please repeat.
Sorry?
Please repeat, sir, the last line.
So, okay, it is like the R-square value that we have explained in linear regression analysis. In linear regression analysis, R-square, which is also called coefficient of determination. Do you remember coefficient of determination? R-square value, which indicates the amount of variation in the dependent variable that can be explained by the independent variables. So it has the same meaning. So here, since R-square values are 0.387 and 598, that means 38.7% and 59.8%. So it means that between 38.7% to 59.8% variations in the dependent variable can be explained by all the independent variables that we have included in the analysis. Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let me say.
Sir, but there are more than 10 tables. Which table you will present?
Which one?
And how to present this result, sir?
হ্যাঁ, কোনটার কথা বলছেন? মডেল সামারি?
No, sir. That স্যার আমি যেটা বলতে চাচ্ছি সেটা হলো আমরা রেজাল্টটা পেলাম যে এটা ইন্টারপ্রিটেশনটা ঠিক আছে, অ্যাসোসিয়েশন আছে তার ভিতরে, কিন্তু আমরা প্রেজেন্ট করব কিভাবে স্যার? কোন টেবিলটা আমরা প্রেজেন্ট করব?
আমি আসতেছি, আমি এখন ওই টেবিলে আসি নাই।
ঠিক আছে, থ্যাংক ইউ।
I am not yet on that table. Okay, I will tell you. But just let me explain what does Cox and Snell R-square and Nagelkark R-square indicate. That's what. Let me multiple linear regression R-square value. You see, can you see this R-square value? Can you see this? The
Yes,
R-square value indicates the amount of variation in Y due to X that can be explained by the regression line. So in other words, we say that the amount of variation that can be explained in the amount of variation in the dependent variable that can be explained by the independent variables. Okay, it is also same here. Fine. Okay. So if I write interpretation, say, between কত percent and কত percent, I say 0.38759, 589, say 38 and 59. 59% variation in the variable can be explained by all the okay, so is it clear now? Okay, sorry, this percentage. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so actually we don't need this. Okay, you will, as I have said, that in most of the studies, the researchers do not report it. So I'm just explaining it to you. What does it actually indicate? Okay, am I clear? Should I proceed? Should I proceed?
Yes, please.
Okay, so this table I have already explained to you. There are also other things that we can calculate from here. So let us avoid it to avoid complications. Okay.
Sir,
now,
sir,
yes.
Yes, sir. The table, which is just above it, classification table. How the percentage correct was actually calculated? Because it seems that it's not 96.4%. It's not a regular calculation, I believe.
True, absolutely. You say the computer has first calculated the predicted values. You see it is written predicted, okay? Based on the prediction, this table prediction and observation, okay? So the computer has generated the predicted values and we have already the observed values. Then it has constructed this table. Actually, from this table, we can calculate the sensitivity, specificity, positive and negative predictive values. So I think it's better to forget about all these things. So it would be very complicated for you.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So the thing is that don't worry. Forget everything. This is the main table. Okay. Variables in the equation. So am I clear? This is the main table. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
So I repeat, this is the main table for which we are interested. And in the publications, people are giving information from this table only. Okay. So somebody asked me how to present the result. Okay, we shall present the result from this table. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So forget about everything. Just look at the sig. Sig means the significance or p-value. Okay, clear? Clear? Look at sig. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Hello. Okay. So we can see that age is significant, right?
Yes,
age
sir.
is. So what are the other variables which are significant?
Sir, sex.
Sex. Okay. Then
Family history.
Family history. Family history. Okay. Then peptic ulcer. Okay. Constant is the y-intercept that we have discussed earlier during multiple regression analysis. Okay. So it's not that important. So we can see that except religion, all other variables are statistically significant. So this is the p-value. Clear?
Yes,
Am I clear? So this is the p-value. Then exp beta. this is the adjusted odds ratio. Okay, clear? EXP beta indicates the adjusted odds ratio. Okay, clear? Am I clear? Ji, bolen. Bolen, hello. Hello. Bolen. Hello, any question? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, please.
So any question?
No, sir, not from
So
me.
I said that EXP beta, EXPB column indicates the adjusted odds ratio. Okay? Okay, am I clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And these two columns indicates the 95% confidence interval. Clear? This indicates 95% confidence interval. Clear? Okay.
Yes, sir.
For reporting, we need only this sig exponential beta and 95% CI. That's all. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if I copy this table and paste it in MS Excel, say paste, okay. Okay, so can you see this table? Can you see this table? Hello.
Yes,
Yes. Yes, please.
Okay, so for your publication, you will just modify the table a little bit, like AOR, adjusted odds ratio here. Okay, this is then 95% CI. Let me add another row. Insert OR. Then okay. Say you will then write 95% confidence interval. Okay. Let me insert a row here. Insert. So 95% CI. 95% CI, say lower value, upper value, okay? Then delete this one, then P value, okay? Now just copy and paste from here to here. Say this one, bring it here, okay? Then this lower value and upper values B. Then copy and paste P values. Okay. Let's see, delete all these other columns. So this much you will report in your publication. Am I clear now? Have you got your answer? Somebody asked me, how shall we present our result? Okay.
Yes, sir. Got it.
Okay. So anyway, just make the table formatted. You don't need to give this column as well. Okay, you will just give this table from here to here. Fine, have you got it? Okay. Fine. Now the question is, how shall we interpret the results? Okay. Interpretation of the results is like the interpretation of the odds ratios that we have interpreted earlier in bivariate analysis. For example, for time being, forget about interpretation of age. Age was included as continuous variable. Therefore, its interpretation would be different. Okay, forget about this one for time being. We shall have to first interpret the categorical variables included in this analysis. So we can see that for sex, odds ratio is 0.2. Okay, 0.2. Adjusted odds ratio is 0.2. This is the 95% CI. This is the p-value. So odds ratio is less than 1. Therefore, we conclude that since our comparison group was male, therefore we shall conclude that females are less likely to have diabetes mellitus compared to male after adjusting for age, religion, family history of diabetes, and peptic ulcer. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, which is statistically significant since p-value is less than 0.01. So I shall show you the right term. Now, if we interpret the religion, religion 1 was Hindu, 2 is Christian, because our comparison group was Muslim. Therefore, the Hindus are more likely to have diabetes mellitus compared to Muslims. Odds ratio is, adjusted odds ratio is 1.6, 95% CI is this, p-value is this. So we shall interpret that compared to Muslims, Hindus are more likely to have diabetes, which is not statistically significant. In the bracket, you will write odds ratio 1.6, adjusted odds ratio 1.6, 95% CI this, p-value is this. Similarly, you will interpret that the Christians compared to Muslims are less likely to have diabetes because it is less than 1. Okay, less likely to have diabetes compared to Muslims, which is not statistically significant. And in the bracket, we will give the adjusted OR 0.83, 95% CI this, p-value as this. Clear? After adjusting for age, sex, family history, and peptic ulcer. Okay. So if we look at the family history, the comparison group was the individuals who had the family history of diabetes. So we can see that the adjusted odds ratio is less than 1. So it indicates that the persons who do not have the history of diabetes, family history of diabetes, is less likely to develop diabetes mellitus compared to those who have the family history of diabetes, which is statistically significant. Since it is just 0.05, it indicates it is significant. Okay? Clear? After adjusting for age, sex, religion, and peptic ulcer, like this. Am I clear? So if we look at the presentation, okay, so you can see this is the interpretation. Maybe although the variables are not same, it is like this. Say here, comparison group was female. Okay, that's why the results has come out like this. Males are more likely to have diabetes compared to females after adjusting for age, religion, occupation, family history of diabetes, and peptic ulcer. In the bracket, you just write adjusted OR is this 95% CI, give the 95% CI, and also give the P-value. Okay? Am I clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, please.
I know it's a little bit difficult, but it's not difficult. But if you look at the book, interpretations are given. So remember that if the B, here B is actually, it indicates the natural log of odds. Okay, this is the natural log of odds. Exponential beta is the odds ratio. Okay, this is ln odds. And if we take exponential e to the power beta, then we get the odds ratio. So anyway, the thing is that the negative values, you see the negative values indicate less likely to have diabetes. If there is negative value, odds ratio would be less than 1. You will see that everywhere. Whenever the beta is minus or negative, then the odds ratio would be less than 1, which indicates less likely. If the beta is positive, then you will see that odds ratio is greater than 1. That indicates more likely. Okay. However, practically for interpretation, just look at the p-value, exponential beta, which indicates the adjusted odds ratio, and the corresponding 95% confidence interval. The odds ratio given here is the odds ratio after adjusting for all other variables in the model. Clear? Is it clear? Any question? Any question? Any concern?
No, sir.
Huh? Karkono concern? Any question? Concern? So can you interpret it now? Can anybody interpret it? Nobody? Nobody can interpret it. So the thing is that interpretation of odds ratios is same as we have interpreted earlier. Here, since they are adjusted odds ratios, therefore, only thing we shall have to say that this is the odds ratio after adjusting for other variables in the model. Okay, say if we say adjusted odds ratio for female, for male was comparison group, for female is 0.20. This would be after adjusting for age, religion, family history of diabetes mellitus, and peptic ulcer. That's it. And looking at the p-value, we can decide whether it is statistically significant or not. That's all. Am I clear now? Am I clear? Any question? Kono prashna? Any question? Anybody has any question? Nobody? So let me proceed. Fine. So this is the most important table that we actually check for interpretation of the analysis. We may not need any other table to look at, okay? If all the variables in this table are not significant, if none of the variables are significant, then you will see that this p-value, omnibus test p-value would be greater than 0.05. For example, if we use the logistic regression only for religion and occupation, let us see what happens. Can you do it with me? Just go to previous place, regression, binary logistic, okay? Just take out age, take out sex, take out family history, take out peptic ulcer, but include occupation, include occupation. Can you see it? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So we have only two independent variables, religion and occupation, okay? Now click categorical, click categorical, click categorical. So select occupation and push it into the categorical variable. Let us assume that last category would be the comparison group. So let us not change anything. Let us not do anything. Okay. So have you done it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then continue. Then okay. Other things are already set. Just okay. Just okay. Now you can see that 78.6, you say, so you see omnibus test. Is it significant? Is it significant or not?
No, sir.
No. That means these two variables cannot predict diabetes mellitus, or these two variables does not have any influence on explaining the diabetes mellitus. That means it indicates that this model is useless. Okay, we don't need this model because it is useless. Okay, you see this p-value is greater than 0.05. So, and you can also see that, you see this value 78.6 under block 0 and the value is same under block 1, 78.6. There is no change. Is there any change?
No, sir.
No, because this model is not useful. So you can see this is the main table that we are supposed to check, and we can see that none of the variables are statistically significant. Okay. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So this is how we interpret our results. Now, one important issue is that before we conclude this table, about this table, we need to check for multicollinearity. Have you heard this term, multicollinearity?
No, sir.
Multicollinearity. Multicollinearity means if there is correlation among the independent variables, then sometimes this table is, distorted. It gives distorted results. For example, we can see that sex has negative beta, okay? So if there is multicollinearity, then it may become positive. Instead of negative, the results would show that it is positive. Something like this, okay? Or the standard error may be abnormally large or abnormally small. That is less than 0.001, or standard errors may show that they are greater than 5. So if we see that standard errors are either less than 0.001 or greater than 5, then we suspect that there may have multicollinearity. So multicollinearity means there may have correlations among the independent variables included in the model. That's why we have selected correlation matrix. This table shows the R value between these variables. For example, R value between age and constant is minus 0.9. Can you see it? R value. Okay. Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the correlation or R value between sex and age is minus 0.163, right? Sex and age. Okay. Okay. Like
Yes.
this. The R value between sex and religion 1 means Hindu is minus 0.02, like this. The thing is that if R value is greater than 0.5, greater than 0.5, okay? If R value in this table is greater than 0.5, then we suspect that there might have the presence of multicollinearity, okay? In that situation, we should check the standard errors here. If the standard errors are very small, less than 0.001 or greater than 5, then we shall have to analyze the data excluding the variable which has multicollinearity, okay? For example, we can see that the R value between constant and age is 0.9, minus 0.9, right? Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
So R value is greater than 0.5. So this means that there is a strong correlation between constant and age. Okay, there is a strong correlation between constant and age. Okay, so we shall check the standard error. But if we look at the standard errors, none of the standard errors are less than 0.001 or more than 5, correct? Is there any standard error which is greater than 5 or less than 0.001? Is there anything like this in this table? Is there anything?
No, sir.
No. No. Therefore, even though there is strong correlation between constant and age, but it did not affect our model. It did not affect our analysis. So if our analysis were affected, then what we could do, we could exclude the constant or age from the analysis, okay? We shall either exclude the constant or age. So you will exclude that variable which is less important to you. Clear? Am I clear? Then redo the analysis. Am I clear? Am I clear? Any question? So the message is that before concluding the results of logistic regression, we should always check for multicollinearity. If there is no multicollinearity, then there is no problem. Multicollinearity is indicated by any R value greater than 0.5, okay? So if the R value between two variables is greater than 0.5, then we have to check the standard error in this table, variables in the equation. If the standard errors, any of the standard error is less than 0.001 or greater than 5, this indicates that this multicollinearity is disturbing this model. So in such a situation, we shall exclude one of the variables which are collinear with each other. Then we shall have to do the analysis once again. Okay. Okay.
Yes,
Any
sir.
question?
Yes.
So there are several other things. Those are more complicated. So maybe it is better to omit them. But for reality, I am just telling you, forget everything. Just look at this table. Okay, just look at this table. Variables in the equation, then interpret the results. Am I clear? Only this table. Okay, but before looking at this table, you see sometimes you might be confused. Looking at this table, please check this table as well, correlation matrix, okay? Or you don't need to check this table, just look at this standard error. Whether these standard errors are lying between 0.001 to 5. If they lie between 0.001 to 5, then it is all right. Just report this in your publication. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So actually today was the last class and I was supposed to explain the logistic regression, and this is about logistic regression. So only one thing remaining is non-parametric tests, right? Non-parametric methods. So let us discuss about non-parametric methods. If you do not have any question, but if you have any questions so far, please feel free to ask me. Any question? No question? Okay. If there is no question, let us see how to do the non-parametric methods. Okay. In non-parametric methods, we said that if the dependent variable is not normally distributed, we use the non-parametric methods. Okay, for example, earlier we have seen how to do the independent samples t-test. Now, say for independent samples t-test, suppose the dependent variable was age. If age is not normally distributed, then instead of independent samples t-test, we shall do the Mann-Whitney test. That's all. And for paired t-test, the substitute is Wilcoxon signed ranks test. Okay, Wilcoxon test. And for one-way ANOVA, it is the Kruskal-Wallis test. Repeated measures ANOVA, forget because I did not talk about it. There is no substitute for chi-square test. And I have already discussed that for correlation analysis, to find correlation between two quantitative variables, if any of the quantitative variable is non-normal, we shall use Spearman's correlation. We shall use Spearman's correlation. Now let us see how to use them. Suppose we are interested to know whether mean systolic blood pressure among males and females is same or not. But systolic blood pressure is non-normal. So we shall use the non-parametric method, Mann-Whitney U test. So go to analyze non-parametric tests, then come to legacy dialogues. Analyze non-parametric tests, legacy dialogues. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yes,
select two independent samples. Select two independent samples. Okay. Click on two independent samples. Click. Two independent samples. Click. Okay. Now we said that our dependent variable is systolic blood pressure. So select systolic blood. It is just like t-test. Systolic blood pressure, push it into the test variable list. Now select diabetes. We wanted to know whether the diabetics and non-diabetics have the same median blood pressure or not. So select diabetes, push it into the grouping variables box. Grouping variable box. Okay. You can see that Mann-Whitney is already selected. Okay. So we want to do the Mann-Whitney test. Okay. Then click on define groups. Click on define groups. Click on define groups. Define groups. Okay. we know that diabetic is coded as 0, 1. So push 0 in group 1 and 1 in group 2. Okay, 0 and 1. Then continue, then okay. Then continue, then okay. Have you done it? Have you done it? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So we can see the results. Only look at the p-value, okay? The last row is the p-value. P-value is 0.588. That means it is greater than 0.05. That means it is not statistically significant. Therefore, we can conclude that actually we say that distribution of systolic blood pressure among diabetics and non-diabetics is not same. In other words, you can say that median systolic blood pressure of diabetic and non-diabetic patients is not same. Sorry, is same, is not different. Okay, am I clear? Just like t-test. Okay. Okay.
Yes,
Is
sir.
it all right? Okay.
Yes, yes, sir.
Now,
Sir,
yes, please.
can you just start once again? We go to analyze then.
Oh, go to analyze non-parametric.
Oh, non-parametric.
Non-parametric.
Oh, yes,
কোথায়
got it.
গেল?
Legacy.
Non-parametric test legacy. Then go to 2 independent samples. Okay.
Yes, sir. So got it. Thank you.
Okay, fine. So it is just like t-test. Okay. Now for ANOVA, instead of one-way ANOVA, we shall do the Kruskal-Wallis test. So again, go to analyze non-parametric tests, non-parametric tests, legacy dialog, then come to K independent samples. Okay, K means more than 2. Okay, click on K independent samples. Click on K independent samples. Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So we want to see, we are interested to know whether mean income of all the religious group is same or not. So our independent variable is income. So push it into the test variable list. Select religion, push it into the grouping variable list. Okay, religion. And you can see that Kruskal-Wallis test is already selected. Okay, Kruskal-Wallis test is already selected. Now click on define range. Define range. Define range. Okay, click.
Yes, sir.
Define range. We know that our variable religion was categorized as 1, 2, 3. Therefore, minimum is 1, maximum is 3. Okay. So 1 and 3. Minimum is 1, maximum is 3. Okay. Then continue. Okay. Okay. Done.
Yes, sir.
Continue. Okay. Okay. Just look at the p-value. We can see that the p-value is less than 0.05. This indicates that the median income in all the religious groups are not the same, They are different. Okay, so we interpret it like this. Clear? Clear? Am I clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. And lastly, we shall see how to do the non-parametric test for correlation. For example, between systolic blood pressure and income. Okay. Say income is non-normal. So we shall do the Spearman test. So go to analyze, correlate, then bivariate. Correlate, bivariate. Correlate, bivariate. Okay? Bivariate. Then select income and systolic blood pressure. Income, systolic blood pressure. Okay. Say at the bottom, instead of Pearson, select Spearman. Okay. Select Spearman here. That's all. Then click on OK. Have you done? Select Spearman, then click OK. Others are all right. It's very simple. Okay. Have you done it?
Yes, please.
Done. Okay, so we shall take the R value. This is the R value, 0.007. This is the P value, 0.91, which is greater than 0.05. So it indicates that there is no correlation between income and systolic blood pressure. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any question? Any questions so far?
No, sir. No, please.
From the first class up to the last class, any question? Somebody requested me to talk little bit about data entry, right? Somebody
Yes, please.
requested me in the hospital. Okay. The thing is that data entry, before data entry, we shall have to decide about the variables. Okay. So actually, how many variables and what would be the variables for your data is decided by your questionnaire. So we shall have to check the questionnaire to decide what are the variables that we want to include in the analysis. One of the tips is that don't create string variables as much as possible. Okay, don't create string variables. Always create numeric variables for the categorical ones, because sometimes the string variables cannot be included in the analysis. Moreover, string variables are difficult to manipulate. Numeric variables are easier to manipulate. Therefore, always try to generate the numeric variables rather than the string variables. This is one case. Another thing is that while collecting data, don't categorize the variable before data collection. Try to collect the raw data. If you collect the raw data, you can categorize them anytime during analysis that we have learned. Okay, so these are two important issues. And another issue is sometimes we have multiple response questions. For example, we had a question, how many what are the assets do you have? If it is a multiple response question, develop variables for each of the responses. Then you can handle them in a better way. Okay. So once the variables are created in this window, then we can easily enter data in the data view. However, data entry in SPSS is not very popular. People are using some other data entry method, data entry programs. Sometimes people are using Access or Excel or other programs for data entry. So once you have the data in other programs, it is not difficult at all to convert the data into SPSS. So you don't have to be worried about it. Okay. So these are the important issues in data entry. Any question?
So how to convert, you said put the data in Excel, then how to convert here in SSP?
Okay, okay. In conversion, the thing is that while opening the file, say here, just go to File. Okay, say go to File, Open. Open, then go to Data. Okay, so if you have an Excel file, you cannot see. So what you shall have to do is that click here, then select the file type, all types, all files. Okay, select all files. Then you can see any Excel file. For example, if I go to other folder, let's see, there might have some Excel files. Say documents, say that one. Say I do not know. Okay, let us see. Data working, data original. No, you can see there are some Excel files here. Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
So just select a file, click on open. Okay, click on open. It will be, data will be automatically converted into SPSS. Okay, just click OK. So you can see that, okay. So this is the file, okay, which has been opened from MS Excel. Okay, have you got it?
Yes.
So you can see the data view. This is the data view. This is variable view. However, I will request Kibria to share a data conversion software with you. If you use that data conversion software, you can also transfer your data from other programs to another program. Okay? Okay, is it all right? Yes, Kibria, are you with me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I will share you a software. Please share with everybody.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So you will get it.
Sir, if we convert data from Excel to SPSS, do we need to write the label and values manually?
Yes, madam, you shall have to, because in Excel you cannot do it. Therefore, you shall have to label them.
Okay, sir. Sir, can you please tell us about syntax?
Huh?
Syntax in SPSS.
Syntax, okay. Syntax is difficult, but still I show you syntax. Fine.
Okay, thank you.
Suppose I want to do the cross tabulation. Okay, let us see frequency. Say, I want to go to analyze descriptive frequencies. Say frequency for sex, say sex, religion, and occupation. Okay, so I want to see this frequency. Now, what you will do is that click on paste. Click on paste. Click on paste. Have you done it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you will see that computer is showing now a separate window. Can you see it in my computer? You will also have the same thing. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
So you can see that the SPSS has opened a separate file. This file is called the syntax file. So this is the syntax. If you have the syntax, we can run the syntax to do the same analysis. Now, how to run it? Just select this syntax from beginning to the end, up to here. Select it, click on this button, run button. Okay. What do you see? Click on this. Korchen, have you done it?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So you can see the computer is showing you the frequencies. Okay. So whatever analysis, suppose, so if I do, you say analyze logistic regression, go to logistic regression. Regression, binary logistic, oh, not this one. Say, let us remove these things. Okay, let us remove these things. Dependent variability, say, select age, select sex one, select, say, religion, select family history, select peptic ulcer. Okay? Okay? Are you with me? Do it with me. So are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go to categorical, click categorical, okay? So, okay, fine, click categorical. Now select sex one up to religion. All the categorical variables, push them into this box, okay? Push them into this box, okay? Suppose in sex, male is our comparison group. So it would be the male is last category. Suppose if female is the comparison group, then we shall have to convert it into first category. So select first, change, and assume that for all other variables, last category is the comparison group, okay? So only convert sex into first category. Okay, clear? Then continue. Then continue, okay? Then options we have already selected, so there is no problem. Now click on paste. Click on paste. Done.
Yes, sir.
Click on paste. So you can see now, open that syntax file, you see. So this is for logistic regression from here to here, okay? So you can select from here to here, just push this button, then you will see that the SPSS will do the logistic regression analysis, okay? Click this button. Click this button. Have you done it? So you can see that logistic regression analysis is done. Okay.
Yes, sir. So now how to save it?
Yes, you can save it. Go to file like MS Word. So you can see it's file here. So go to here, save as. It's like MS Word.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Then if I want to change anything, sir.
Change. The thing is that if you want to change anything, be careful. It's very sensitive. If there is extra dot or comma, if there is addition or omission, then this may not work. That is the problem. The advantage is that, for example, say you say here age, sex. If you want to add another variable, say occupation. Occupation variable, you have to write it very correctly. I do not know my variable occupation. Let's check. Occupation, what is the variable name? Occupation, full. So you can write occupation. Occupation, okay. Now you say you have included occupation here. Now contrast, sex 1, indicator 1, others this. So contrast, you say again, you shall have to add another. It's difficult, as I say. So you shall have to copy it. Maybe after age here. We shall have to contrast here. We shall have to change it, occupation. Okay, then indicator, because I have added another variable, so I shall have to change it here as well. Maybe now it will work. Okay, so this is the advantage. So it has worked, okay? The advantage is that if you save the syntax, anytime you can execute it. If you like, you can change the variables in it as well, but you shall have to do it carefully. That is the issue. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Any other issue? But another thing I tell you, for example, if we do the logistic regression analysis, say analyze logistic regression, binary logistic. If we do not click paste, just OK, you will also see that it is also giving you the syntax. This is the syntax, okay? This is the syntax in the first box. ঠিক আছে? Have you got it?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So you can
thank
copy.
you, sir. এটা আগে নোটিস করি নাই.
Okay. So you can copy this syntax, Control C, and you can paste it in the syntax file. No problem. You can do it. You say like this. Then you can execute it as well. No problem. Okay. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other issue? Any other question? Any other question? Any other question? No question? Okay, so if there is no other question, Then no.
সিনট্যাক্সে আরেকটা ব্যাপার ছিল যে মানে আমি একটা অ্যানালাইসিস রান দিলাম, তারপরে হচ্ছে ওইটাকে আমি লক করে দিয়ে তারপরে নেক্সটটাতে যাব। স্যার এটা যেন কিভাবে করে ভুলে গেছি।
কোনটা? আরেকবার একটু বলেন।
স্যার আমি একটা লজিস্টিক রিগ্রেশন রান দিলাম, তো এরপরে আমি চাচ্ছি যে এটাতে আর কোনো চেঞ্জ হবে না, আমি এটাকে হচ্ছে এইভাবেই লক করে দিয়ে নেক্সটটাতে যাব স্যার। তো এটা যেন স্যার কিভাবে করতে হয়?
লক মিন্স লক
আমি আর
বলতে
কোনো চেঞ্জ করব না।
কোনো অসুবিধা নেই, আপনি যে ফাইলে তো ওখানে সেভ করে রাখলেন আপনি। In the syntax file, just keep it saved and anytime you can run it. Okay.
মানে স্যার আমি যদি পরপর অনেকগুলা সিনট্যাক্স একটা
করেন, no problem. You generate the syntax file one after another, and at the end you can, sorry, I have closed it. At the end you can execute it. For example, say let me do 3 analyses. Okay. Say descriptive, statistics, frequencies. Okay. So paste. So this is already in the syntax file, right? Then go to analyze and let us do the logistic regression. Okay, so paste. So it is again after the first analysis. If you want to do cross tabulations, descriptive statistics, cross tabs, say sex and diabetes, okay? Say statistics, chi-square test, continue, sales, row percentage, continue, statistics, okay, risk, continue, then paste. Okay, so you can see cross tab is here. Now you can execute them separately like this, okay? Or you can execute the whole file. You can execute the whole file. So from here to here, select here, okay? Then this one. So you can get everything together, or you can, if you want, you can only have the, say, logistic regression. So just select the logistic regression part. Okay, just run it. That's all. ঠিক আছে?
স্যার আমি একবার যদি সিনট্যাক্স সেভ করে রাখি, পরে স্যার অনেকদিন পরে হয়তো আমার আবার এই অ্যানালাইসিসটা করার দরকার হলো, তখন আমি ট্র্যাক করব কিভাবে যে আমি এই ভেরিয়েবল গুলা চেঞ্জ করতে চাচ্ছি? এটা কি মানে ট্র্যাক করার কোনো ওয়ে আছে কিনা?
ওখানে লেখা আছে তো সিনট্যাক্স ফাইলে সব, everything is written in the syntax file. What are the variables included? It's already written. If you check it, it is all the variables are already written here. For frequencies, you see sex, religion, occupation. So it is written, already written here. Okay. Is it all right?
জি স্যার, স্যার আমি মনে হয় দুইটা মানে একই রকম ফাইলে করছি, যেন আমার কাছে দুইটা সেমই আসছে আর কি। সম্ভবত আমি ভুল করে দুইটা মানে বারবার কপি পেস্ট।
আমি বুঝতে পারলাম না আপনার কথাটা।
স্যার আমি মনে হয় সেম ফাইলই দুইবার হচ্ছে স্যার রান করে ওখানে কপি পেস্ট করছি, এজন্য আমারটা সেম দেখাচ্ছে।
Okay. So you can delete one file and keep the updated one. Okay. So it's no problem. You can do it. Any other issue? Any other question? Any other question? No other question? No question? Okay, so if there is no question, let me close sharing. So today was the last class. And once again, I would like to thank you all for taking this online SPSS course. And very honestly, I have tried my level best to share my experiences with you. And I'm not sure how much you have gained out of this course. But one thing I would like to say that actually we want to remain very sincere in helping you so that you can use SPSS effectively for analyzing your data. And I believe that even though you forget the things, and it is very likely that you will forget until and unless you regularly practice them. But I believe that if you can use the book effectively, you can analyze your data. And you would also be able to interpret the results. And if you face any difficulty, just please go through the book. I hope that you will be able to interpret the results as well. So let me hear from you whether you have gained anything or not. Please also suggest us how can we further improve this course so that the participants actually really gets benefited out of you. So do you have any comments, suggestions, or your experience, whether you have learned anything out of this course or not? So we would be very happy to hear from you.
Sir, thank you so much, sir. SPSS স্যার অনেক মানে মনে হতো যে অনেক কঠিন, বাট স্যার এই ক্লাসগুলো করার পরে স্যার অনেক ইজি হয়ে গেছে। Thank you so much.
Okay. No, thank you. Please use them. It's not really difficult. It's easy.
Yes, thank you, sir. I really learned a lot of terms and a lot of things from all these sessions, and really thank you.
No, thank you, Dr. Uma. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And okay, anybody else? Any comments, any suggestions? Do you have any suggestions for us?
Yes, sir. Can I suggest something?
Yes, please.
Yes, sir. See, like most of us, I'm talking about myself, we are doing just like little research work and where we have some statistics and data collections and all. So it will be really kind and nice if you start from the simple thing like how to enter the data, how to interpret the data. Because all these analyses are good. Everything is fine when we do it in the data 3 and 4 when we did it. That's fine. But the basic things still remain the same. Then how to enter the data, that's the primary thing. Like we do a survey. Then from the survey, when we get those results, then how to start our analysis. Analysis later. First, we have to do the data. So first we have to enter the coding is fine. But after we done the coding, then how do we enter? Suppose I have 500 responses, then how do I go about that? That's my basic question.
Okay. Okay.
Suppose I have 500 things. Yes, sir.
Well, the thing is that practically what do we do? So once we collect data, then we develop our variable file. And after that, we enter data. And data entry it's not difficult, but I do not say it's difficult. It's not really, it's a very, what should I say, monotonous job. Okay.
Yes. And, it's a lengthy process.
Yes. And it would have been, as you have said, it would have been better if some of you could have the data, real data with you. And the problems that you are facing while analyzing your own data, if we could discuss them in this session, that would be much, much helpful to you. But unfortunately, none of you have any data. I told you earlier that if you have any data, and if you want to raise any issue, any question related to your data analysis, we shall also discuss it. But unfortunately, nobody came up with their own data. So I could not address those parts. But in such kind of session, actually, the thing is that if you look at the participants, most of the participants are very senior members. They are very busy practitioners. Actually, they don't have that much time to collect data from the field during this time period. So these things is really very difficult to do. However, that's why I have given you a short questionnaire and requested you to collect some data, 4 or 5 data. Actually, that was for practice. Okay.
Okay, sir, but I think I probably had missed that part where probably that I missed one class. Probably that was in that class that.
Okay, that was in the first class.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, which you have missed. Oh, okay. Actually,
Yes.
we started from the very beginning.
Okay.
How
So
to generate the variables, how to enter data. We started from there actually.
Can I have the recording, sir? Because I joined late.
Could be. So I think that class was recorded by somebody else. That could be shared with you.
No, sir. First class ordinance recorded.
G.
Class record kora hoy.
Record kora hoy nai?
No, sir.
Oh, I see. So first class was not recorded.
Recorded start from second class.
Okay, Dr. Uma. Next time when we shall offer the next course, I shall invite you to attend the first, second, third, whatever class you want. I am inviting everybody, okay? So actually, whenever we offer the next course, we invite our alumni to attend the classes, whichever they want, okay? Free of charge, without any cost.
So when will be the next first class?
Maybe still we have not yet decided, but tentatively maybe in September.
Sir?
In September.
Okay,
September or October, like this.
Not next Saturday, right?
No, not next Saturday.
Okay. Next Saturday I'm traveling actually. So I will be in aeroplane. I'll be in air.
No.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
Then I'll definitely come and start that class because that's a major thing because whatever analysis were done, that's quite okay. That's simple. Simple means need practice and what you want for your analysis. That's all right. But the thing is, my basic thing is how to do it, how to start. I can analyze what the table you had, but not how to enter it, how to create my own file.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. One thing, Dr. Uma, can I help you? Kibria, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, Kibria, can you, because next Saturday and Saturday after that, I will remain very, very busy. So can you arrange a time with Dr. Uma to show her how to generate a data file in SPSS?
Okay.
Can you do it?
We can do it, but I think I can share the first class of the third batch with her.
Okay.
Same thing.
Okay. Okay, fine.
Yes.
Okay, Dr. Uma. So
yes, sir.
Let's see, maybe.
I think that class was recorded.
Yes. I also.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Then okay. Okay, let us come up to a decision. Kibria, okay, you share the first class of any batch, whatever.
Yes, sir.
Okay, with Dr. Uma. And please.
I will share it on the group. Don't worry.
Okay. So please keep in touch with her. if that is not sufficient, then I shall make some time to take the first class once again. And whoever likes, they can join it. No problem.
Very kind of you, sir.
No problem. You see, I said that, you see, our objective is different. Our objective is to help the people. So that is our primary objective. Okay.
Thank you, really.
Yeah.
I appreciate so much, sir.
No, thank you. Thank you. Any comments from anybody else?
Thank you so much. I had a very little knowledge about SPSS, so that course was actually really helpful for me. Though the last 3 class was a bit complicated for me, as I know, but
Okay.
definitely I will go through the recordings, and if I face any problem with my data, and obviously I will try to analyze my data from now on, and if I face any problem, I will definitely come to you, sir.
Yes, communicate with us, no problem. No problem.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you very much. Dr. Shoibal, did you get anything out of this course? Was it helpful to you?
স্যার আজকে ক্লাসটা স্যার একটু বেশি ডিফিকাল্ট ছিল স্যার।
I know. The thing is that actually, very honestly, all these are pure statistical analysis. So until and unless we have the statistical concepts, it is very difficult to understand at the first time. Of course, I fully agree with you. However, the thing is that if you have your data and if you want to do such kind of analysis that you cannot do, please seek help from us. We shall help you. Okay, so that you can analyze your data and publish your paper.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
No problem. No problem.
স্যার ফ্রাইডে ছাড়া স্যার নর্থ সাউথ আপনাকে আর কবে পাওয়া যেতে পারে স্যার?
Friday chara, there is no other way to get me.
Okay, sir.
I actually remain busy with my job and other things. Okay. I have to occasionally, I have to take classes in other institutions. So.
Okay, sir. I will communicate you through email.
Okay. So you can come to North-South University so we can discuss. My class at North-South Universities is from 10:30 to 1 o'clock.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Any other comments? Any suggestion? Faisal?
Yes, thank you, sir.
Have you gained anything or not? Be honest. You say,
no, so yes, sir. I want to sir. I'm honestly with this.
Yeah, you will critically give your views. Okay. So, and be honest. Don't worry. No problem.
The last thing I told my brother that I learned the syntax things the first time. I don't know about the syntax.
Okay.
Like the stata, I use the command prompt, but in the I don't know the same kind of things will do like in SPSS.
Okay.
But I learn a lot of things like today's a manhood test. I don't do it first time in my life today.
Okay.
And I was my teacher. I told you that my Shelty man. He told you a lot of things about you, how you teach. I don't know, but after your class, I just feel that he is totally right.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, fine. So no problem. Actually, one thing I want to tell you that syntax in stata is much easier. Okay. But syntax in SPSS is very complicated, very difficult to write.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So that's why people do not use the syntax commonly in SPSS until and unless in for very some special conditions, situations that cannot be done using the menu. Otherwise, people do not use the syntax. But syntax of stata is very easy. Okay, very easy. And syntax in stata we call do file. Okay, we call it do file. We can keep all the commands in the syntax in the do file, and we can execute it anytime, whenever we want. That is much easier. Okay. But anyway, Imran.
Sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir, the whole thing was so organized. I have gone through, I missed several classes, and I think I will definitely go through it because, sir, actually online ক্লাসগুলোর ক্ষেত্রে আমি খেয়াল করেছি যে ইনস্ট্যান্ট মানে আমি অনেক কিছু রিসিভ করতে পারি না। পরে হয়তো আমি জাস্ট যখন বসে বসে একা একা শুনি তখন জাস্ট আমার একটা ঘন্টা হয়তো পার করতেই দেখা গেছে 3-4 ঘন্টা চলে যায়। প্রিভিয়াস ক্লাসের ক্ষেত্রে আমার এরকম একটা এক্সপেরিয়েন্স আছে। তো ওইটার জন্য স্যার সবগুলোর ক্ষেত্রে আমার এগুলো আই হ্যাভ টু গো থ্রু অল দিস রেকর্ডিংস, মেবি ইট উইল টেক 20 or 30 hours more. মানে আমার আরো এগুলোর ভিতর দিয়ে যেতে হবে to really understand the insight of whole analysis thing. আর কিছু জিনিস স্যার আমি খেয়াল করলাম যে আমার কাছে খুবই ভালো লেগেছে, যেমন হচ্ছে আপনি স্যার যে অর্গানাইজ থিঙ্কিং, যেমন ভ্যারিয়েবল গুলো কি কি দিয়ে কোডিং করছি সেটাকে লিখে রাখা, দ্যাট ওয়াজ ভেরি ইম্পর্টেন্ট। আমার কাছে মনে হচ্ছে যে ওই জিনিসটা বারবার ওখানে যাওয়া এবং এটার ফলে আমার একটু ফ্যাটিক ক্রিয়েট করা, ওইগুলো যেন না হয়। তো এই পার্ট গুলো স্যার আমার খুব ভালো লেগেছে, এবং ওইগুলো আস্তে আস্তে স্যার আমি দেখবো যে আমার মনে হয় আরো অনেক কিছু আমি ওই রেকর্ডিং গুলোর ভিতরে পাবো। এই জন্য আমি একটু অপেক্ষা করছি যে আমি কিভাবে ওইগুলোকে আস্তে আস্তে একটা রিয়েল টাইম অ্যানালাইসিস এর মাধ্যমে আমি আরো ভালোভাবে আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ড করা, বিশেষ করে যে লজিস্টিক রিগ্রেশনের যেটা, এগুলো স্যার আমি হয়তো পড়েছিলাম এক সময় কিন্তু আমার থিওরি খেয়াল নাই, তো যার কারণে মনে হয়েছে যে at first I have to go through the theories, and then if I listen it again, I will have the better insight to what actually you was intended to let us learn.
Okay.
So thank you very much, sir. Actually, after boita was so much informative. It helped us before we have attended your classes. Numerous time or numerous conditions. যখন আমরা আমাদের ক্লাসগুলো স্ট্যাটিস্টিক্স রিলেটেড ক্লাস করেছি তখন থেকে আপনার বই থেকে স্যার আমরা হেল্প নিয়েছি। তো it was a privilege actually to attend your class, and আমি স্যার দোয়া করি আপনি আল্লাহ অনেকদিন সুস্থ হয়ে বেঁচে থাকেন। আমাদের সবার জন্যই আপনার অনেক অবদান আছে হোল বাংলাদেশের ক্ষেত্রে। Definitely, sir. All over the world, আপনার যে মানে পজিটিভলি যে অ্যাটেন্টিভলি স্যার ক্লাসগুলো নেওয়া হয়েছে সেটা আমরা তো ওইভাবে আসলে রিসিভ করতে পারিনি হয়তো, বাট উই উইল ট্রাই at a certain period of time maybe, that keep in mind that there is an example that you have put forward to us to follow. Thank you very much for that.
Okay, thank you very much. So one thing, let me announce something for you. I'm also actually writing a book on stata, and once it is finished, so I will share the soft copy with all of you.
Thank you so much.
So it might take another 5-6 months to complete it. Okay. So I will share everything. I will share with everybody. You see, my SPSS book, it is also shared openly. Everybody can access it. It is given in the research gate, and anybody and everybody can download that book. So it is free for everybody.
Well, thank you so much, sir.
Okay. So Dr. Rehnoma, Dr. Rehnoma, আপনি কিছু বলবেন? আপনার, if you have any comments,
No, I said thank you for data. Thank you. Thank you. I said thank you for sharing this data.
Okay. Okay. We shall. We shall share. Tamanna তো আপনি তাহমিনা, Dr. তাহমিনা কিছু বলবেন? Dr. তাহমিনা, Dr. তামান্না তো বলেছেন না?
না স্যার, বলিনি কিছু।
জি, আপনার কোনো কমেন্ট, সাজেশন?
স্যার কমেন্টস হচ্ছে যে মানে এই বইয়ে তো শুধু দেখেছি, আপনার এখান থেকে হচ্ছে কি শিখছি। এখন হচ্ছে রিয়েল ডাটা নিয়ে কাজ, যেটা আপনি বললেন যে আসলে তো আমাদের কাছে রিয়েল ডাটা ছিল না। এখন আমি হচ্ছে গিয়ে কেবল মানে ফ্রেন্ডদের কাজগুলো একটু দেখা শুরু করেছি, তো ওরা মাঝে মাঝে আমার থেকে একটু সাজেশন চায়, তা আমি যখন আটকে যাই তখনই আমি আপনাদেরকে নক করবো আর কি।
অবশ্যই, নো প্রবলেম।
কারণ এতদিন আসলে, আর যেটা আমার ওই যে আপনি আরেকটা যেটা বললেন যে থিওরিটা ভালো করে বোঝা না থাকলে আসলে আমি এসপিএসসি কি করব সেটাও তো আমি জানবো না। তো এই থিওরির জন্য কিছু করা যায় কিনা স্যার?
থিওরির জন্য অ্যাকচুয়ালি the thing is that theory, to know the theory, you see there are many biostatistics books in the market, but most of the books are not easy to understand, very honestly.
Yes, sir.
Okay. There are also epidemiology books available in the market, but again, so in the books, there are detailed information, but if you want, since I teach epidemiology, I can share my handouts, which are written in I try to write them in a simple way. So I can share my handouts with all of you if you want.
Thank you, sir. আর স্যার হ্যান্ডস আউট থাকলেও যেটা হয় স্যার, এই যে ক্লাসে এসপিএসএস এর বইটা তো ছিল, থাকার পরও যেটা হলো যে আমরা ক্লাসে আসাতেই হচ্ছে গিয়ে পেজ বাই পেজ পড়লাম, পেজ বাই পেজ আমরা মানে হাতে কলমে করলাম। তো আপনি হ্যান্ড আউট দিলেও সেগুলা আসলে যদি একটু আমাদের সাথে ইন্টারঅ্যাক্টিভ ক্লাস হতো, পেইড হোক, কিন্তু আমার কাছে মনে হয় যে আমরা থিওরিতে এখনো অনেক পিছিয়ে আছি। যে কারণে আমার ফ্রেন্ড যখন আমাকে একটা স্টাডি দেখিয়ে বলে যে এটা কি করব, আমি নিজেও ফার্স্টে বুঝি না কি করব, তা আমি কি করি, সেটা রিলেটেড কিছু আর্টিকেল নামিয়ে দেখি যে তারা কি করেছে, এরপরে হচ্ছে আমি যাই। এরপরে যেটা হয় যে একটা মেথোডোলজিতে স্টাডি টাইপ বের করার পরেই যেটা লাগে আমার স্যাম্পল সাইজ, এরপরে আমি আর বুঝি না কোথায় আমি কোন সূত্রটা অ্যাপ্লাই করব। স্যাম্পল সাইজ ক্যালকুলেশনও আমার একটা মহা ঝামেলা। আমি তো এসপিএসএস এ আসবো ডাটা কালেকশনের পরে, কিন্তু ডাটা কাদের উপর নিব আমি তো সেটাই এখনো ডিটারমাইন করতে পারিনি। ফলে এই যে স্যার বেসিকের সমস্যাটা থেকে যাওয়া, এইগুলোর থেকে যদি স্যার আপনারা কোনো কোর্স করান, এই যে যেটা বলেন সিম্পল ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজে ইজি ভাষায়, এটা স্যার খুবই জরুরি। অনেকগুলা বই কেনা হয়ে গেছে, অনেক পিডিএফ নামিয়ে ফেলেছি, কিন্তু আসলে স্ট্যাটিস্টিক্স আসলে ধরতে পারছি না।
Okay. I do not have any book or handout on statistics, but I have handouts on epidemiology that I can share with you.
Okay, sir. That will be preliminary help, inshallah.
Okay. And for the statistics, actually, the statistics that we commonly use, if we can understand the concept, means in what situation shall we use this, and how to use this, and what would be the interpretation. If we know up to this, then it is all right. But unfortunately, in most of the biostatistics books, they are dealing with the formula, okay? They begin the chapter with formula. That's why it has become very difficult for many of us to understand it. Actually, from biostatistics, what we need to know is, if I have a data set, so first of all, I shall have to understand what are the variable types, how shall I differentiate it, then what kind of measurements or calculations that I should do from such kinds of variables, and then the hypothesis testing. And for hypothesis testing only, very limited things that we need to know, like linear regression, logistic regression, and hardly life table analysis if you want to go up to there. Otherwise, if you know the logistic regression, multiple regression, and I think if you know these two analyses, you can handle with most of your data, particularly related to public health. This is my experience. And if you look at the publications related to public health, you will see that mostly people are using all these statistics. Commonly used statistics are bivariate analysis. In bivariate analysis, people are using the chi-square test or Fisher-Exact test, t-test or Mann-Whitney test. Another is logistic regression. That's it. Okay, so we shall help you. Please communicate with us. Whenever you are in problem, please communicate with us. Okay, no problem. We shall help you. Okay, and sir. While helping you, you see, I also get benefited out of you. I also learned many things. Okay, people are coming up with different problems. So handling with the different problems, I also learned something. So no problem.
Sir, we can offer a short course on sampling, sample size estimation. If
sample size, okay.
Please.
Okay, we can offer.
Yes.
Okay. Sample size calculation is important. We can offer it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, how to calculate the sample size. I will share my handout on calculation of sample size with you. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Any other suggestion? So,
sir.
Yes.
They are telling they're very happy. That's fine. But participation is very low, especially from the middle of the course.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, but I do not know. Okay. Yeah, I do not know why. After enrolling in the course, paying money, people did not attend this course. Do you know any reason? অনেকেই enroll করেছে, টাকা দিয়েছে, কিন্তু regularly attend করে নাই।
এবং এবারই প্রথম স্যার, এর আগে কখনো এরকম হয় নাই।
এরকম হয় নাই, হ্যাঁ। আপনাদের কোনো কারণ জানা আছে যে কেন আসে নাই বা কিছু?
মানে আমার মনে হয় যে ক্লাসের মাঝখানে একটা বড় গ্যাপ পড়ে গেছিল আমাদের, মানে ঈদের রমজানের যেমন একটা বড় ছুটি হলো, ওই গ্যাপটার কারণে হয়তো অনেকে কল করছে, মানে আমার পার্সোনাল অবজারভেশন।
ওকে ওকে,
মানে পরবর্তীতে মানে এমন যেন না হয়, এই জন্য আমরা আসলে আপনাদের ফিডব্যাকটা জানতে চাচ্ছি।
ওকে, তাহলে কি আমরা শেষ করব?
স্যার শেষ করা যায়।
Okay, so anyway, thank you very much for your suggestions.
আমি খুবই তাড়াতাড়ি সার্টিফিকেট পাঠিয়ে দিব। সার্টিফিকেট পাঠানোর আগে মেল করে দিব সবাইকে। কুরিয়ারের মাধ্যমে will send you the certificate.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And কিবরিয়া ভাই, যদি স্যার হচ্ছে স্ট্যাটা নিয়ে কোনো কোর্স অ্যারেঞ্জ করেন, প্লিজ লেট আস নো।
যে কোনো কোর্স আমরা অফার করলে আপনাদের কাছে ইয়ে করব, সার্কুলারটা করব।
আপনারা ভালো থাকেন, কেমন প্র্যাকটিস করেন, ইনশাআল্লাহ পারবেন। ইটস নট ডিফিকাল্ট, কেমন।
আর কোন ধরনের হেল্প যদি লাগে আমাদের সাথে কন্টাক্ট করবেন,
যোগাযোগ করেন, ঠিক আছে।
থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার, আপনার সাথে ইনশাআল্লাহ দেখা হবে স্যার।
ইনশাআল্লাহ দেখা হবে, কেমন।
আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
জি, আসসালামু আলাইকুম। তাহলে থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ, থ্যাঙ্কস এভরিবডি। আসসালামু আলাইকুম, তাহলে খোদা হাফেজ।
থ্যাংক ইউ কিবরিয়া ভাই।
জি, থ্যাংক ইউ। হ্যাঁ, কিবরিয়া actually, what should I say? Kibriya is the main person of the course. Without his support, it was impossible to organize this course. Kibria always works very hard, very sincere. I found it very sincere. You see, he is always communicating with all the participants, providing all the materials, sending emails, responding to their emails. So I really appreciate Kibria for taking the whole responsibility and coordinate the course. So Kibria, thank you very much. I always thank you.
Thank you, sir. স্যার
জি
মানে ওই যে ইয়ের কথা বলছিলাম আমি যে ম্যানুস্ক্রিপ্ট ওটা অ্যাকচুয়ালি আপনি হয়তো বা ক্লিক করছেন ওকেতে করলে হয় না, ওটা পুরোপুরি আবার রেজিস্ট্রেশনের মোডে করতে হয়েছে। শুনলাম
রেজিস্ট্রেশনে গিয়ে আবার করছি, আমার কনফার্ম করছে, তো মেইলটা পাঠিয়ে দিব আপনাকে।
আমি আরেকবার চেক করি স্যার এক্ষুনি।
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা, চেক করেন।
হ্যাঁ এখনই করছি স্যার, কোনো মেল আসছে কিনা। না স্যার।
আচ্ছা তাহলে আমরা কি খোদাহাফেজ করি সবার সাথে?
জি স্যার, জি স্যার। স্যার
হ্যাঁ কিবরিয়া, এখন কথা বলা যাবে। আচ্ছা আমি জিজ্ঞেস করছিলাম কি জন্য আইসিডিডিআরবি 4 তারিখে তো ওনাদের করার কথা ছিল, কেমন?
আইসিডিডিআরবি নাকি
সরি এনএসইউ, কেমন?
তবে আমার মনে হয় শুরু করেন নাই স্যার, এটা করতে পারবেন না, কারণ কয়েকদিন আগেই তো আমার সাথে কথা হলো।
শুনেন এদিন না খুব এই ভেজাইল, এই যে আমার এখানে মেইল আইছে কনফার্ম ইমেইল, বারবার করে কনফার্ম করি, তারপরে এটা আসে। আমার না আমার অথার থেকে বাদ দিয়া দেন।
না স্যার আর দেয়া যাবে না স্যার,
বাদ দিয়া দেন। এইগুলা বিরক্তিকর, কেমন কি জিনিস বাজায় রাখছে
স্যার।
দাঁড়ান আমি দিতেছি।
এইটা তো আমি আসলে
আবার এই যে কি সেন্ড লিংক, ইউজ পাসওয়ার্ড, লগ ইন।
স্যার আমি তাহলে আমার ওয়াইফকে বলি, সে পূরণ করছে তো একটা
ক্রিয়েট অ্যান অ্যাকাউন্ট। বাদ দেন, আমার বাদ দিয়ে দেন, আপনার এটা চলো।
না স্যার, না স্যার, না স্যার,
কেমন
ওটা আগে বলছিল স্যার,
আমি পছন্দ করি না, এটা ফাইজলামি। এই যে আবার আসছে থ্যাংক ইউ, চেক ইউর ইমেইল, ম্যাজিক লিংক নট অ্যারাইভিং, সেন্ড লিংক। আবার কিসের লিংক পাঠাবো ওরে আমি?
মনে হয় কোন একটা সমস্যা হয়েছে স্যার।
বাদ দেন, আমারে বাদ দিয়ে দিতে কোন।
স্যার আর বাদ দেওয়া যাবে না, মানে এর আগে বলে দিছে যে যা চেঞ্জ করার
হ্যাঁ
করে ফেলবেন।
তাহলে বইলা দেন যা পাঠাইছে, যাদের রেসপন্স পাও নাই তুমি প্রসেস শুরু করো।
স্যার একটু দাঁড়ান স্যার, কি কি সমস্যা হয়েছে একটু বলেন।
এত কিছু আমি বলতে পারবো না এখন, এটি বাদ দেন। ওই বারবার করে কয় লিংক দাও, ইমেইল অ্যাড্রেস দাও, দিলেও তো বারবার করে একই জিনিস আসে, বুঝছেন? আবার দেখি আসুক, কালকে আসুক, এখন পাঠাইলাম। পেয়ার J2 লগ ইন ইনটু পেয়ার J2, এই যে আবার লগ ইন আসছে কেন? আসে দেখি, লগ ইন করার দরকার আছে। হ্যাঁ আমি দেখি করতেছি, দাঁড়ান। লগ ইন, আবার এই যে লগ ইনে নিউ সাবমিশন, ওল্ড সাবমিশন, কি কি সব।
স্যার আমি আসলে তো মানে ওই যে ওনাদের কিছু ফিডব্যাক ছিল, ফিডব্যাকের পরে তো চেঞ্জ করে দিয়েছিলাম, তারপরে ওনারা বলছে ফাইন, ওদের যে অফিসিয়াল চেক সেটা ওকে হয়ে গেছে।
আমি আপনাকে, আমার কাছে মেইল আসছে, আপনাকে ফরওয়ার্ড করে দিই। এই ফাইজলামি এগুলা। ওই যে আপনারে কইছিলাম না যে এই যে রেজিস্ট্রেশন করো, এইটা দাও, ওইটা দাও, এই তথ্য দাও, দরকারটা কি আমার? সিডিএ ট্রেনিং, সিডিএ তে পাঠাইলাম, কেমন? আপনিও তো 10টা ইমেল খুলে রাখেন, এটা পাঠাইলে কোন ওইটা না, ওইটা পাঠাইলে কোন এইটা না। Message sent. Kibriya. Hello. Hello. তাহলে কিবরিয়া কি খোদাহাফেজ করবো? কিবরিয়া নাই।